my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. And freedom is all that I know. The old made new. Jesus, when I met you, you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. And freedom is all that I know. The old made new. Jesus, when I met you, you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. I needed rescue, my sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing, now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day.
Zero. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's Friday. Are we ready for a weekend? We have Joshua 9 today, and we're going to do the end of chapter 9, 22 to 27. And we get to see what happens to those Gibeonites, right? Let's see who's with us so far this morning. Ready? Chuck B was here first thing. Good morning. Shalom, gentlemen. And Ken Gooch says, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. Chris Conley's here, even though he had to work late. Bert Reggiani's here.
Hi, Bert.
There's my heckler. She's here. And Brian Lamming. Good morning, Brian. All right. That's who we have that call it 16 connections. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people commented. Okie dokie. Well, it's okay. Some people just are shy that way. Diane, she has a dog that's so spoiled that whenever she eats something, he sits in front of her and barks. What do you do? All right, so let's start. Let's get started. Let me pull up the book of Joshua. Share screen. Joshua 9. Hey, hopefully you can see it, right? Can you see it? Oh, no, we can't see it because I didn't put it on the stage yet. Okay. They changed this a little bit. It used to be when you shared it, it instantly popped up. And now you got to go back to the other screen and pull it into the broadcast. Verse 22 starts with Joshua summoned them, and he said to them, why did you deceive us, saying we are very far from you, when you dwell among us? Now therefore you are cursed, and some of you shall never be anything but servants, cutters of wood, drawers of water for the house of my God. They answered Joshua, because it was told to your servants for certainly that the Lord your God had commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. So we feared greatly for our lives because of you and did this thing. And now behold, we are in your hand. Whatever seems good and right in your sight to do to us, do it. So we did this to them and delivered them out of the hands of the people of Israel, and they did not kill them. But Joshua made them that day cutters of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of the Lord to this day in the place that he should choose. You read this and you think, wow, that's some pretty rough treatment. We saw the deceptive nature of the Gibeonites earlier in the book in the last few days, right? They plotted. The other kings were all getting together to create a giant army, while the Gibeonites chose this direction. They knew God was on their side, and I guess they figured that slavery or servanthood status was the better alternative after seeing what had happened to Jericho and Ai. The sin of the Gibeonites had consequences, right? They suffered, they survived, but their deception marked them forever. Their people never benefited from this. Although, if we read that thing, he said, some of you will never. I guess, to me, you read this, and we've talked about the deception and how the Israelites never talked to God first. They never consulted with God before they made this decision to make a covenant with Israel. I mean, with the Gibeonites. So we talked this for 3 or 4 days now, and it's to me, I said, what can I possibly add to this? And I'm sitting there looking at this yesterday, and it came to me that there was this hidden benefit for the Gibeonites that we seem to overlook sometimes when we read these verses. From here on out, they would live and work at the tabernacle. They would serve at the altar They would be amongst God's people who belong to the covenant of God. Their deception moved them closer to God. And Tom had talked about a few days ago how the people had sinned and God had given them chance after chance after chance. And that's why they needed to be destroyed, because they had absolutely refused to stop. They refused some of the most awful practices that we'd ever seen. They were doing it, and God said, enough, we can't have this. And all of a sudden now these people are going to work in the tabernacle. Fear drove them right to the service status, but the service moved them closer to God. Have we ever thought about that? They became, through servanthood, basically a part of service to God. I sometimes wonder in my life if there's moments where I feel like a Gibeonite, where I try to make deals that, and I don't want to be deceptive, but I don't want to tell them exactly what I'm like. I do that, and or do we do that? I mean, we all come to God imperfect, right? We all come to God imperfect. Nobody's perfect. So some out of fear, right? They're scared of maybe dying, or somebody's trying to kill them. Some out of desperation, because they have no other. They've exhausted everything else, and some just because everything they've tried has failed horribly. I think the story we can get from this is God can transform you, even flawed beginnings, into faithful service. Okay, if you've been in church for more than 5 minutes at Firmly Rooted, you've heard Tom say this on the altar. God has never looked at a situation and said, I didn't know that was going to happen. So take that event and transfer it to that. Maybe this was part of God's plan to get the Gibeonites right. Maybe this was part of God's plan to show them that there's a better way. If God knew it was going to happen and did nothing to stop it, because I think back to the Jesus story with Mary being warned or Joseph being warned in a dream to leave because bad things were going to happen. The wise men from the east were warned in a dream to go a different route. I mean, there's so much stuff. Wouldn't God have said, no, Joshua, stop what you're doing? Yeah, they didn't consult God, but if God didn't want this to happen, he'd have stopped it, correct? So maybe I'm just throwing it in my uneducated opinion. He knew it was going to happen and did nothing to stop it. Maybe this was part of his plan in the first place. This story kind of, to me, it looks forward to the Gentiles, right? How Paul was given this task to take the message to the Gentiles. They were outsiders. They were under judgment. And through covenant, were brought near. So much here. I mean, and sometimes it's tough to find something different to talk about. I just found that fascinating yesterday as I'm sitting there staring at these verses for the 1,000th time, trying to say, okay, they didn't talk to God. What does that mean? So that's what I have for you today, guys. I hope it was a blessing. Thank you. God bless you too. Have a firmly rooted day, gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend, and may someone see Jesus in you. Peace.